Palm Beach, Florida. At the White House, people who want to meet with Donald Trump have to deal with schedulers, scores of aides hovering around the president, and a strict security protocol. At Mar-a-Lago, Trump's luxury South Florida resort, where he typically spends Christmas and New Year's Eve, the president is just another guy in the buffet line. Story continued below. That's where Alan Dershowitz, the liberal lawyer who now volubly defends Trump on TV, ran into the president on Christmas Eve. Two were waiting to get food, and Dershowitz said he offered the president an empty plate. Trump declined and instead picked up his own, as the two discussed holiday plans. He was in a very good mood. Dershowitz said, "People were talking to him, people were high-fiving him. These are his people." Over the past 3 years, Trump has spent his days at Mar-a-Lago, which he calls the Southern White House, surrounded by an unpredictable cast of Palm Beach residents, wedding guests, and the characters Trump invites down for a meeting or a round of golf. It's often led to a more freewheeling atmosphere, in which the president feels more comfortable to freely meet with people, knowing he's outside the strictures of official Washington. "You're not in an office where there's like 18 gatekeepers," said former White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer. Often, that has led to Trump courting controversial individuals at his glitzy resort. During his latest stint at Mar-a-Lago, Trump has met with Eddie Gallagher, the retired Navy SEAL who received clemency from Trump after being convicted of war crimes. Trump also welcomed his personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who is under investigation by the U.S. Attorney's Office in New York as he continues to try and collect Ukraine-related dirt on Joe Biden, Trump's potential 2020 rival. Dershowitz comes with his own controversy. The attorney used to represent convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein and has filed a defamation lawsuit against one of Epstein's accusers who said Dershowitz sexually assaulted her. Dershowitz denies the claims. Multiple former White House officials said that Trump is much more comfortable when he is relaxing down at Mar-a-Lago and is surrounded by many fewer staffers who try to keep out shady individuals when he's in the White House. One of those former White House officials described Trump as feeling liberated and at home when he's at Mar-a-Lago. He doesn't have the infrastructure of the White House to really deal with. "You know how difficult it is to get somebody cleared into the White House complex," said the former official. "You don't have those same concerns at Mar-a-Lago. When he's not golfing at his nearby course or entertaining guests during meals, Trump spends his time in quarters that are right off the club's main building and terrace and only steps away from where members are eating dinner." Trump loves to be around people while at the resort, said several people familiar with the president's time there. "He naturally interacts with club members and visitors who would never have access to him at the White House," said another former official. "There's less staff around and he does as he sees fit. It's a completely different environment and some people trying to meet him have figured out how to exploit that." In the early days, there was some consternation among White House officials about the lax situation. The Secret Service was never happy, according to the first former White House official. "It was a bunch of hangers-on," that official said. "You just don't want to put the president in the same room with some folks who were maybe closer to him when he was a developer or living in New York than you'd want, who were controversial in their own right, whether they were involved in lawsuits or other things. Back then, every guy would bring a friend and the friend was some guy from some country or a lobbyist," said a person close to the White House. "I think they put the kibosh on that and became a lot tougher on screening and who members were bringing as guests." The person remembered one time when a member showed up with people from a sub-Saharan African country who wanted to talk to Trump. In a sign that staff were trying to put some limits on things, the individuals were turned away. Lawrence Leamer, the author of Mar-a-Lago, Inside the Gates of Power at Donald Trump's presidential palace, said one reason that Trump is in a better mood at the Palm Beach resort is because no members or visitors to Mar-a-Lago challenged Trump directly when they're at his resort. Leamer noted that numerous one-time members who object to Trump's policies resigned over their political differences. He can't stand to be criticized or challenged. And when he asks you, "How am I doing?" you just say, "You're doing great." That's it, that's what he wants to hear, said Lemur, who has talked with Trump many times at Mar-a-Lago over the years. The people around him are increasingly the true believers, and it's almost like a religious revival when he shows up there. They jump up and down, they shout, they scream his praises, he added. Let's block ads. Why?